Hello everyone. Welcome to Dr. Rajkumar Academy. Welcome to the session on 21 to 2023 guys. So now when we quickly look into the issues, the first one guys, it's been 1 year that Russia attacked Ukraine. Even after 1 year, Ukraine is still fighting. So Biden visited Ukraine yesterday and he is trying to say 1 year later Kyiv stands, Ukraine stands, democracy stands. There's a very good statement, guys, which indicates that when people come together and fight for their country, it is easy to protect. And at the same time, it is very, very difficult for the other person to take away your territory. Ukrainians have shown their skills. See, yes, India is a supporter of Russia indirectly, no denying fact, but we should also support Ukraine for what they have stood for. One country cannot attack and capture another country in 21st century. And most importantly, no country should capture other country. Border disputes are there, it's a different thing. But if you try to capture the whole country, and for what reason is not clear, is very dangerous. Ukraine has stood against this. US European Union have supported them. US going directly to Ukraine and speaking about this is a very important step. Fine. This is Cold War, post Cold War issue, Russia Ukraine war that you are seeing. Fine. Chhattisgarh Congress leaders face ED searches. See this. In Chhattisgarh, there was a scam. Many bureaucrats, businessmen were arrested with respect to the scam. Now politicians are getting arrested. Fine. So nothing much in that. Don't worry, there will be always some links. That's it. EPFO lists norms for opting higher pension. Guys, in Employment Provident Fund organization, Supreme Court had told that whichever employees want to go for higher pension, they should be given permission. And now they are giving the permission. That's it, nothing much. Guys, after Joshimath like disaster, many districts are scared in Himalayan states. In that, one most important valley is the Dharma Valley. This can be asked, guys, so please understand the names. Dharma Valley. Fine. And here there is a proposed project called as Bokang Baling Hydroelectric Project. I repeat, in Dharma Valley, there is a hydroelectricity project called as Bokang Baling Hydroelectric Project. And this might threaten the locals. So they are little bit worried about constructing the dam. They are requesting not to construct. So this is an important issue because one, in future when we are constructing dams and other aspects, if environmental measures are not taken properly, people will protest and this would create lot of problem for hydroelectric generation. I repeat, I repeat, whenever in future also when dams are constructed, there will be a problem. why people are going to protest against what they have actually seen in Joshimath. Second most important thing, this is a border village. Dharma is a border one at hardly 35 kilometers from Chinese border, and it is closer to India and Nepal border as well. So we are concerned about that, because when border villages try to become anti-India, then it can be a threat. This is the reason why, the central government is planning for vibrant village schemes. So it's very, very important for us to ensure that environmental safeguards are taken. There can be an essay as well, guys. Please understand this, it's a very big issue. Yeah, it's a very important case, guys. Slow progress to creating a safe workplace for women. Okay, guys, sexual harassment at workplace is a significant issue, guys. We did not realize about it until and unless the Vishaka guidelines had come. Yes, there was a case called Vishaka case versus state of Rajasthan, where, there was an incident. Let me narrate the story first. There was an incident where a worker at the village level had tried to prevent child marriage, and she was trying to bring some social changes which were told to her by the state government. So when she was trying her level best to implement it, the sarpanch and others of that particular village, if I'm not wrong, some elders, let us say, not sarpanch, why, without knowing I can't tell that. Yeah. So some elders in that particular community, they came and raped the woman. Because of this, they had to go to, court, and the court gave guidelines with respect to sexual harassment. And what does it say? First important thing is, they define what is sexual harassment. Fine. Making undue advances, showing pornography, right? Making sexual remarks, all these comes under sexual harassment. And central government was also asked to make laws. And the government says that it is the duty of every government employee. I repeat, it is the duty of every government employee to ensure that the workplace is free from sexual harassment. Clear, guys? So for this, what should be done? We should set up sexual harassment committee with majority being women, and they should give the report. Based on that, company should take action. If not, she can go to police station. So this article is trying to tell us what are all the measures that needs to be taken, because there was a case where a politician, against a politician, a case was filed about sexual harassment, right? And then recently you might have heard about the sexual harassment case of sportswoman, right? So all these are indications of what we call as sexual harassment cases that are growing and measures needs to be taken. Next is House of Horrors. Yes, in Tamil Nadu, there was what you call as NGO, which used to take care of old, destitute women, mentally unstable, all these people. It was Anbu Jyoti Ashram, and in this ashram, beggars, everyone were brought. And what happened? There was a case filed that there was one guy missing. That made the police to enter into the house, and then the people there started telling the horrors that is happening. Then they arrested, and they have removed, rehabilitated at almost 140 residents. So this is happening, and they do not have any NGO certificate, but still they are running the show. So the article is trying to say it is mandatory to have NGO certificates. If you don't have NGO certificates, you should not be allowed to run. It would be a problem, is what it is trying to tell. You can use such things, guys, nothing much. The problems with the data protection bill. See, guys, data protection bill is important because today every individual's data is with the government. What public fears is it may enter into the hands of private people, and the private people may misuse it. This is first. Second, government itself may misuse it. They may keep on monitoring us, where we are going, what we are doing, all these aspects. This is the fear. Third, RTI guys. See, in this bill, while protecting the data, it is trying to say that personal informations must not be asked in the RTI. I will give you an incident case. There is a rule. I'll tell you. UPSC had also asked this question. What are the problems associated with RTI? What alternative measures we should take? I'll just tell you. There was an officer, police officer, who had filed a criminal case against a person. Now what happened? The person, to threaten the police officer, he had filed an RTI to collect his personal information about his house, where he is from, all this. And then they collected, they tried to threaten him. See, I know each and every information, where your daughter is studying, what she is doing, all these things. Recently, I saw there was an RTI with respect to, what you call as Prime Minister food bill, guys, food expenses. Guys, RTI is meant to get certain information which government is trying to hide, not about an individual's behavior. You can't file an RTI and ask about my behavior or some IAS officer's family details. If you are asking about financial details, right, that there is some corruption involved, assets, that also has to be done by IT departments. Cases have to be filed. So, let me tell you here, the article is trying to say, this bill is trying to say that any personal information must not be revealed through RTI, which is wrong, is what it is trying to say. But guys, this we need to be conscious because governments take measures on the basis of complaints they receive over a period of time. More animals, less forest cover. Yes, Karnataka has a unique problem, guys. They have lot of projects coming up, and all these projects are trying to cut the trees and all. And because of this, the forest cover is reducing, but animals are increasing. And when forest cover reduces and animals increases, this would lead to man-animal conflict, where the animals would enter into nearby areas and they would be seen as a threat, and this would lead to killing of animals as well. So that is why, guys, when we say at environment level, it is very important for us to have, right, things at the environmental level, guys. What is the meaning of this? I repeat, you see, it is very, very important for us to protect an environment at the ecosystem level. So when I say ecosystem, it can be food chain, it can be food web. Fine. I need to protect the entire food chain. So if I'm protecting a tiger, I should protect the range of the tiger as well. See, guys, let us say uh, there is a dog. Fine. For one street, one dog. But street is bigger, two dogs. Much bigger, three dogs. Dogs divide the area. Similarly, tigers also divide their area in the forest. But when you have less forest and more tigers, then there will be one tiger which will be dominant, another tiger will be weak. So the weak tiger will be pushed outwards, and the weak tiger enter into the villages. So you have to ensure that yes, I am conserving cheetah, I am conserving tiger, good. But along with that, increase the forest cover so that they get their natural food. Guys, child marriage is a very, very important issue that you can expect even an essay on this case. Fine, so just be really careful with respect to these. BJP slams NPP. Rio is the CM face. Probe at advanced stage in hate speech case. Cannot stop Khalistan movement. Dhankar tells panel to probe disorderly conduct of 12 MPs. His vice president has told that please look into the case where people are misusing what they are supposed to see as privileges. Says every MP will have certain privileges in the parliament and that must not be violated. Mahua Mitra, who she claims to be educated, she was using some unparliamentary languages at the house of the parliament. So this shows what they stand for and what they speak has no value. People want opposition to question the government in a logical manner, and they should be supported by everyone because at the end of the day, opposition is very important for democracy. But this particular incidents like this has no sense at all. Godhra train burning, EC dismisses. India is first responder for natural disasters. India and Italy eye defense pact during Meloni visit. See guys, India and Italy had very good relations before this, but the relations reduced over a period of time. I'll tell you about few things. See guys, there was Augusta Westland case where the Congress was blamed for having some corrupt links with the defense manufacturer in Italy. I repeat, Congress had some, like sorry, BJP blamed Congress. I want to be careful because it is not proven. BJP blamed Congress that they had links for Augusta Westland case. Fine. And a company which was supplying defense products were actually banned, blacklisted. And India-Italy defense relationship had hurt. Second, is two Italian Navy Marines, we call, that is two soldiers, they were closer to Indian coast. That means they had come closer, they had shot two Kerala fishermen. I repeat, two Italian Marines had shot two Kerala fishermen thinking that they were from Somalia. Indian government arrested them. Later, Modi government released them and the issue was resolved through permanent court of arbitration rather than seeing it as a dispute between India and Italy. So this had led to India-Italy relationship going bad. But now, as the Italy Prime Minister is coming to India, we want to continue with the deals. The company which was blacklisted earlier, now it is being removed. And that company is important for supplying certain raw materials. For example, recently India and France had developed a Scorpion submarine. In that, it is not capable of having heavy weight torpedoes. It cannot have heavy weight torpedoes because certain equipments required for it has to be provided by the company owned by Italy. Upendra Kushwara, all this not required. Center may notify emissions trading scheme by June. See guys, what is the meaning of this? Now let us say emissions trading scheme. Now guys, let us say there are three companies guys, and all these companies emit carbon dioxide. This will emit 5 tons, this will emit 6 tons, this will emit 10 tons. Now government will give them target. Target for them is you should emit 4 tons, you should emit 4 tons, you should emit 6 tons. Government has given the target that reduce the emissions, right? Now A has to reduce 1 ton, B 2 tons and C 4 tons. Now A will go for solar energy and reduce achievement, all right. how much did they achieve? They made it 2 tons. Who? A. B made 4 tons. 4 was given, he reached 4. C made 8 tons. How much is the target? 6 tons. Now he wants additional 2 tons target, but government is not ready to give. But can you see A has achieved the target and at the same time he has reduced much below the target. So his target is 4, what he has achieved is 2. So he has a surplus of how much? 2. Now this he will make in the form of bond, and A will sell the bond to B, sorry, bond to C, and says that this 2 tons you can emit on behalf of me. So bond is given from A to C. C will give money and A will invest this money in further reducing carbon dioxide. This is emission trading scheme. Fine. Emission trading scheme. Yes, India has an obligation of emissions intensity, reducing emissions intensity. That means emissions per unit of GDP. How much emissions do I have per unit of GDP is called as emissions per unit of GDP. And India is aiming at reducing it by 45% guys, by 2030. That means whatever we had at 2005, let's say in 2005 we used to emit 100 tons, by 2030 we should make it 45. Fine. That's the targets they have kept. Mhm. Q stands, declares Biden as he makes a surprise visit to Ukraine. Israelis purses their protests as Netanyahu advances judicial changes. Yes, in Israel, they are taking certain decisions to ensure that uh, judiciary is controlled. Guys. That's why the protests are going on. Ranil government faces mounting pressure for attempt to postpone local polls. Yes, in Sri Lanka, the politicians are aware that they will be losing elections, so they are postponing. Bangladesh shuts main opposition newspaper. Everywhere issues are there. Government wants HZL on $2.98 billion buyout of Vedanta's overseas zinc assets. Guys, Hindustan Zinc Limited, they want to purchase some $3 billion worth assets of Vedanta, and Vedanta company had taken certain zinc availability in different parts of the world, and that we can try to take. There can be a question on availability of zinc in India, guys. Fine. So these are some of the important issues, guys. Thank you.